Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, my name is Grief Drums and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the brand new defender as part of Operation Void Edge. This is Oryx. He comes with one of the best loadouts I've seen on an operator in a really long time. I genuinely love this setup. You've got two options, you've got the MP5 and the Bailiff, or the Spaz along with the USP40. Now, both of these are pretty much set up in a way that you pair them together so that you can utilize him to the best of his ability. If you take the MP5, by taking the Bailiff, it gives you the option to open stuff up, and vice versa if you take the Spaz 12, so you can open up hatches or, sections of wall, whatever you want to do. You've then got the pistol for those slightly longer range engagements. An interesting point to note though is the fact that Oryx's MP5 does not come with an ACOG. Now, with this new defensive operator, this is going to really mix things up, certainly when it comes to getting map control, because 9 times out of 10 when you've cleared an area of the map, you know that defenders can only come from the sets of stairs that you may have put a Nomad air jab or a Claymore on. But if there's a hatch open behind you, hell, if there's a hatch that's closed, this dude can open it up and just appear from nowhere. This has the potential to be game changing. So to start with today, we're going to take a proper look at Oryx and his utility or gadget that he can utilize. This is the first operator that we've seen in Siege in which he doesn't really come with a gadget, but instead he himself is that utility. This man-mountain of a defender can quite literally run through unreinforced walls. It is going to cost him 10 health when he does it, but the ability to catch out the attacking team by surprise and just appear in amongst 3 attackers if you don't knock them over when you come through the wall, it's hilarious, it genuinely is. However, now that I've had time to properly sit down and break down this operator and what exactly it is that he does, it kind of got me thinking. Now initially I only viewed the smashing through walls in an offensive style. I figured that, as a defender, as the attackers come in, you're going to go bursting through the walls, knock them all down and just shotgun them all. The more I've tried doing that, the less it's actually worked. And the more I've started to realise that, this is probably more just for getting out of dodge. Now, the biggest piece of advice I want to give is when you first get to play on this operator, the way that you want to utilise him is to be flanking through the hatches. If you can come up from behind the attackers and catch them by surprise, treat him kind of like a Caveira and get to places that people aren't expecting to see you, I think he could be really effective. As and when it starts going a bit wrong and you need to get away from there, you can then go smashing through walls to get away. If you're trapped in a cupboard and you're getting hunted, instead of being stuck in there like Cav would or having to use an impact grenade to get out, having to save that utility, you can literally just burst through a wall and jump away. This can then keep you alive to rotate down through hatches underneath where the attackers are and come up from behind them. He obviously does have the option to take down people like Monty. This can be extremely effective, and it's the first proper counter other than Legion that we've seen to Monty. As I found out the hard way though, you do have to be extremely accurate with this, otherwise you start charging and you go zipping just past the Monty, you don't achieve anything at all. He causes an interaction very similar to Nomad when he hits an attacker, and we started messing around with this to try and figure out exactly what you can do and how best to utilise it, because if you go ahead and knock Monty down, he then comes back up and stands up and puts the shield up before your weapon is actually lifted. In order for you to learn from my mistakes, don't knock a Monty down and then try and just shoot him, because by the time your weapon is back up, it's not going to work. Instead, you've got 2 options. You can either move around to the left of him so that his shield is out of the way and just shotgun him there, or alternatively, hit the melee button the second the knockdown animation has ended and you will instantly knife that attacker. This is by far the most effective way to utilise it, so when you get your hands on this defender, make sure to give it a go. Now, whilst the smashing through walls is extremely fun to do and knocking people down is a hell of a lot of fun as well, the hatches for me is by far the biggest thing to come out of this. It's just incredible. With the option to either just jump straight up through the hatch and pull yourself up, or to hang on and have a look around with the option to drop back down if it's not looking good. There are a lot of options to utilise when playing as Oryx. Now, I would put him, as I say, into the Caveira style role. Despite the fact that he's a big, heavy boy, I kind of think that that's the way he's going to be played. He doesn't really need to worry about things like castle barricades, he doesn't need to worry about soft walls or anything like that. But I think the more you go smashing around the map, the more likely you're going to end up in a group of attackers and just get gunned down. With this in mind, I kind of think that Oryx, as fun as he is going to be, I don't think he's going to see that much comp play. I think he's going to fall into the category of Kavera in the exact same sort of way that she's used. Every now and then she'll like just appear on the enemy team, but I think it is going to be reasonably rare. But when it comes to ranked or unranked and quick play, I think he's going to see a lot of you. Certainly this season, we're going to constantly be getting smashed through walls, so it's going to be wise to take some counters. Gridlock will pretty much stop Oryx in his tracks. See what I did there? Nomad will send him flying, as she does with every other operator. And whilst Ubisoft did list Lion as a counter, I don't know how much I agree with that. Yes, it's going to spot him if he's moving, but it's an interesting one, that. Claymores, though, are by far the most effective way to counter Oryx, certainly on hatches. Now, we went and tested a few different things. We wanted to see if just clinging onto the side of the hatch and looking up is going to impact different things. So Nomad here, we went ahead and put an air jab out, and as you can see, just hanging on, the Nomad air jab doesn't go off at all until you go up. Once you're up through the hatch, it will then send you flying. Claymores, however, is a completely different story. The second you cling onto the edge, you break the beam of that laser, and you are done for. Either way, this dude is a lot of fun. He really, really is a lot of fun. And for any players out there that play like Bikini or Mali, you're going to have an absolute blast playing this defensive operator. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this defender looks cool? Do you think that you like the operator? What do you think about having no utility except himself? Personally, as far as the loadout goes, I think he's a hell of a lot of fun. I really do. Let me know though, what do you think down in the comments below? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of an insight into the brand new defender. Huge shout out to Ubisoft for inviting me out to Montreal so I could play him early. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe for all things Rainbow Six. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.